You and I were at the start of like the second wave of feminism. And I remember I was starting Power Women TV and you were like right there with me. We rode the wave, our generation, right? What's your take on what's happening in the cultural zeitgeist?
Most women, I don't like to generalize, but most women are raised to think like the goal is the family. The goal is stability and to have all of these things. And then in the second wave of feminism, by the way, you also need to have a robust career, which is a lot to put on a human. I think that that's a lot to ask. I remember being in my early 30s with my young daughter and running to a trial and thinking to myself, okay, like she's had the organic breakfast, she's, wearing, clothes without dye in it, and I'm, writing the brief, and I'm in the courtroom, and I'm doing all the things, and now I'm exhausted, but I got it done, and then all of a sudden something, and now she's sick, and now I've got to run to school to pick her up, and now my career is falling apart. So every day was like a juggling act, and it was exhausting. I did it. Not that I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's doable. It's hard. I think that people just need to know that it's hard. I think that is the big problem with the messaging. Is the girl boss era made it look so clean and beautiful, and the aesthetic was, strong and wonderful. And I was definitely a part of it, but people need to be told that this is going to be hard. Like, that's what I tell my daughter now. It's like, you're going to, yes, go out and have a very big career and make as much money as you can. Like, if I could tell any young woman, your goal is not to have a family. Your goal is to make as much money as you can. And then you can do whatever you want when you have as much money as you can. I think that needs to be message number one. But then message number two is to make that money, you have to work very hard. It is not going to be easy. You are going to be exhausted. And so I think that that's important for them to know, because I don't feel like that's the part that was told to me. It was just like, it's going to be shiny and beautiful, and you're going to look like Ally McBeal and wear super short skirts and walk into court and say something and win. Like it was, and it was so not that. It was highlighters all over my hands and my hair in a messy bun and me on the floor crying at 4:00 in the morning. That's what creates success. And people need to see the messy parts more than that. So I think that's an important thing that we need to shift. If someone were asking me, like, how do we shift the messaging to get to the right answer, that's part of the messaging. And then as far as the trad wife aesthetic that's going on right now, I find it fascinating, because in the beginning of the trad wives were the Mormon mommy baby bloggers. And so, which was going on when I was a young mom, and they were celebrating cooking at home and cooking organically and making sure your child was wearing dye-free clothing and only playing with wooden Montessori toys, and speaking to them gently and kindly. And so I remember like buying into that, not realizing where it was trying to take me. It never took me there. It just made me crazy, because I was trying to do that and be, the girl boss at the same time, which was very challenging. But I think what's interesting about this in this moment in time, and I don't want it to get lost, is mothering is equally as challenging as laying on the floor with your highlighter and trying to write a brief. It is a really challenging position. And it shouldn't all just be on the woman, because I think from that messaging, we could slip down a very slippery slope, right? Because then all of a sudden they take it to the extreme, like they get very binary, right? Like girl bossing bad, having family good, don't girl boss, only have family. Manosphere satisfied, because now they get the girl that they want, right? The girl that's like, I just want to have a family and raise them and give you organic food. So yes, I hear that. The only thing that I will comment on social media publicly when it comes to the administration is, where's the paid family leave? Where is paid family leave? Where is, you have to take care of your child. You have to take care of your aging parent. You have to, and that makes you have to leave your job. And if you do not have payment during that time, it becomes untenable from the medical bills alone. And so the system needs to supply us with the ability to do it all. It's not that we can't or we shouldn't, we can, but we just all need that support.
And now, because we have all these platforms, women can take control of their business. Whereas before, when we were coming up, we had to go into the office and play the game and hope for the best. Now it's like, well, how creative are you on Instagram? How much content can you put out on your phone so you can control it? It's a very different environment.
So I agree with you to a point. I think that the failure of the girl boss era is that and I don't even know if it was a failure, because like we're products of it. I'm a graduate of girl boss era, and I got it all. I did it. And I have a lot of friends who have too. For me, the frustration is like I had to give up at a certain point. I had to give up the big career because I was like, I'm not great at multitasking. So I was like, I can't do it all very well or to the level that I want to do it. So I'm going to take a step back. And I started my own practice, and it was very flexible, and it is still very flexible. And I could be at the school plays, and I could mother the way that I wanted to mother to 100%. And I could lawyer to 70% in a way that I felt comfortable, that I wasn't letting anyone down. So I was able to adjust and adapt. And I think what's interesting about my trajectory especially is that I know other people who have done the same thing. I have friends who are doctors, who are in finance, and they all found their way. It takes time to get to be senior enough to make your schedule flexible enough to accommodate all of the things that you want. Now, can you get blinded along the way and really be chasing the dream and miss your window? Sure, I guess you can. I believe in this day that there's no, you'll never miss your window. You'll find your way if you want it, you can. But I think what's interesting now is the folks like me and you, I think we need to advertise ourselves in a way that it does become attractive. And so, again, what's interesting for me is that there's the group so I'm Gen X, but behind me is the millennials, and the millennials always get bashed that they want, a kinder, gentler work-life balance. And I would say that the men of the millennial, era are actually pretty into being equal partners. I think that they actually got it right from a lifestyle standpoint. And it's a matter of getting the productive messaging out and saying, no, you can have it all. You may not be able to have it all at the same time. And here's what you need to focus on, and here's how to do it. And maybe that's about to happen. Like I hope to be a part of that trend, because and probably the reason why it hasn't happened yet is because we've all been so busy working. Yeah. Like
we've been girl bossing.
Right, I've been on the floor with my highlighter all over my face and my hair in a messy bun, like writing a brief. But as time opens up, there's now time to create that messaging and say no. It doesn't have to be us against them. We can all do this together. But let's talk about what is ideal and what makes the most sense for all of us.
I think that what you just said was really profound, that we have to advertise ourselves. And I think that means being honest, because one of the reasons why I was excited about our conversation is we are very much aligned about the female and about the empowerment of women and girls. Mm-hmm. But I think that there are tales to be told within that messaging.
Absolutely.
And it's like, here's what can happen if you don't do this, and here's what can happen if you don't do this. Mm-hmm. What systems would you tell women to surround themselves with in order to have it all, or have some sort of ability to have it all as they move forward through life?
I think that having a good partner who can pick up the slack when you're working your butt off, I think that that's essential. I think that having incredible friends, like my friends, aside from my husband and my daughter and my parents, my friends are everything to me. Like I could not, and now I'm gonna cry, like I couldn't do anything without my friends. I couldn't do anything with the text chain that I have with my college girlfriends, because we've shared it all for the last 30 years. And through them, I've learned how to be a better business person and a better mom and a better wife and daughter, and just how to exist in this world. That to me has been absolutely essential. So having a good community is paramount. And then finding a workplace that's willing to work with you, not against you, I think is also essential, because I've had horrible bosses, but I've had incredible bosses who, while I was going through the early childhood years, had been through it before me. And they were the ones who were like, no, this is how you do it. Yeah, you leave at 5:30 in the afternoon to go home to see your daughter for an hour, but then you get back on the computer at 8. And you stay on till 10 or 11. That's how you do it. And just having good, people to assist you in your home. I mean, we were lucky enough. I did not do this alone. My husband and I did not do this alone. Aside from my parents helping us, I had amazing childcare. I had incredible nannies that were second mothers to my daughter, which we were lucky enough to be able to financially afford. Not everyone can do that, and I understand that, but childcare is essential. If you want us to have babies, you have to be able to take care of the babies. And so to me, it's so important institutionally, both from a government, but also from a business perspective.
Amy, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
To many more.
Yeah.